You see me? You got me? We live on Twitter.
Do you like my work? Secure your home.
We're live. We're live and in charge. And at the moment we're alive. But the quake is coming. And I'm not talking just little quakes. I'm talking The Rock, San Andreas. It's coming. I felt it today. I was here working. When was that? Maybe a little after lunch, 1 o'clock, I don't know. But I started going like this. And I never know what to do. I freeze. Should I be outside? Should I be inside? Should I go get under a door? I don't know. If it's my time, it's my time. I'll embrace it. Am I going up or am I going down? I don't know. I think I'm going up, but you could convince me maybe I'm going down. We've done some things we're not proud of. That we have under the desk. I don't know. I wouldn't go under the desk. If anything, I would run. The problem is I'm on the third story. It'd probably just be over. It'd probably just be over. I don't know if I'm reinforced metal brackets. I don't know. Do I have earthquake insurance? I think I do. I don't even know. Who knows? I don't know. When it comes, it's coming. And I know this. Having dealt with insurance companies many times, they will not want to pay many people out. So they will want to hoard the cash, all the money that we've paid them over the years. They will not want to spread the wealth. And I talked to someone today, said you should have bottles of water in every room. Will The Rock come save me? I don't know. I don't. Earthquake insurance is a lot. That's the one thing. You buy a place, you're like, God, I got to get this insured. I got to get that insured. But, it's probably coming. And I don't even think I have earthquake insurance. So if I go down, maybe, I just piss away all this cash. I agree. Sacramento is a very safe place. The earthquake doesn't really faze. I actually feel relatively safe, in Walnut Creek more than I would in Oakland or Emeryville, definitely the city. I mean, if that thing shakes, the city's going to go, ooh. It would, if it hit California, and it's going to, we just don't know when, this year, next year, 5 years, it's coming. And you feel it. We've had how many quakes in the last, 2 weeks? The big boy's coming. Is it going to hit Southern California? Is it going to hit Northern California? You want to say what would cause a recession in this state? It's the big old San Andreas fault. And I don't know what to do. I don't. Would I move to Nevada or something? Maybe. The marina in Foster City is not where you want to be. I would agree. That is where Guy Haberman lives. The marina is on fake land. It might float out to sea. All of a sudden, they would be, by Alcatraz. Swimming with the sharks. We ain't swimming with the sharks where I am. Now, the roads may split and I may fall to my death. But again, I'm ready to go. I've had 34 great years. Every year's been solid. I've lived. I've done a lot of shit. If it's my time and I got to go in a quake, I'm going in a quake. I am ready. Not how I'd like to go. I'd probably just like to go in my sleep. As long as something doesn't fall on me, I wouldn't mind falling. I don't want something to fall on me, so I gotta go like this. That's I don't want that. I want to fall. I want to fall. I do need to serve the people. That is what I need to do, and that's why we got a lot going on today. If Ezekiel Elliott actually holds out, that's a slap in the face to Jerry Jones. You don't get to act like a slappy and then bitch and moan about your contract when you make a lot of money. That's not the way this thing works. This isn't the NBA. We're not into player empowerment. We're into production. We're into management run things. And we're into don't be a slappy. And Zeke's been a slappy. Now, has he been like a criminal? Did some of these chicks make shit up? I don't know. But you don't get to do slappy things and then hold out. Like that would be a direct slap in the face of Jerry. We'll get to that. Brooks Koepka, ghosted Tiger, which he actually has a pretty good reason for it. We'll dive into that. And then the quake, I mean, at any moment it could hit, and we'll just embrace it. But again, you want to get your gamble on. I just put a little cash. Kevin Kisner right now, you can get it 140 to 1. 140 to 1. I put $40 on him. Pays out like $5,500. He finished second last year. He's actually a pretty good British Open player. Love John Rahm, like Koepka, kind of like Tiger a little bit. I mean, this is a great tournament to gamble on. MyBookie.ag, promo code HAM1. Also got a couple new sponsors. Boxofawesome.com, promo code HAM. They sent me a sweet duffel bag. Go to boxofawesome.com. They got a ton of shit. I mean, just a ton of cool stuff. I'm giving you a deal with the promo code HAM. I think you get like 20% off your first box. Actually, it might be 40. I have to look up the exact percentage. But boxofawesome.com, promo code HAM. And then also legacybox.com/ham. If you go to legacybox.com/ham, it's actually pretty sweet. Like if you got pictures in your house, if you got old VHS tapes of your kids, of yourself, of your family, they'll put it all, they'll digitize it. They'll get you in the modern times. You don't want to live in 1993 anymore. It's 2019. Let's get with the times. Let's get everything on digital. Play on your Mac, play on your iPad, play on your phone. And that's what it's here for. Legacybox.com/ham. And boxofawesome.com, promo code HAM. Again, I'm a giver. I give, and I give a little more. And then, of course, mybookie.ag. Let's dive in there really quick before we get into Zeke. Because Zeke, I'm not going to go too in on Zeke yet because I don't know if he's holding out. But clearly there are rumblings that he's thinking about it. And actually, let's start with that. Listen, I was texting with someone the other day. I don't talk to that many agents because agents don't really bring me that much. I'm not into breaking news, so I don't give a fuck when they're going to sign or not. Because the number one job of an agent is all about money. It's to get their client the most amount of money because they get a percentage of that money. It's all based on greed. It is strictly money. It has nothing to do with the team, has nothing to do with the fucking fit. It's just strictly money. It's a money grab. And again, I'm a capitalist. I'm all for money grabs. But the problem is pro sports, like it's kind of interwoven into team concepts, into being one of however many guys are on the squad. Like there are more dynamics at play than just cash, even though as the NBA players tell us nonstop, it's a business. Yeah, no shit. We get that. But Ezekiel Elliott has been in trouble, it feels like 15 fucking times since he's come to the league. He's played 3 fucking seasons. He's played 3 seasons, and he's been in trouble every single one of them. Every single season. And you know who's gone to the bat for him? Who's gone to the fucking mat for him? Every single time? Who went to war with the commissioner? Jerry Jones. Had Zeke's back. Claimed that he was getting railroaded. Was furious. Jerry Jones was losing his shit getting Zeke's back. Obviously, and here's the other thing with all these Cowboy players. You got Dak yapping about how he should be paid. Like, Zeke's really good, so he should be paid. Like, Dak, let's just fucking mellow down, buddy. Take a deep breath, relax. But at least Dak's been a good guy, never been in trouble, started every game. Like, Zeke, you've been in trouble multiple times. And your number one supporter has been the owner of the goddamn team. And now you're going to hold out at training camp? One, you're not an undrafted free agent. You're the 4th pick in the draft. You've been paid a shitload. And you know why you're the 4th pick in the draft? Don't ever forget this. The entire scouting department wanted a different player. You know who wanted Ezekiel Elliott? Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones. So Zeke, he's had your back every single turn. No one would dispute that Jerry is going to want to pay him. Just like he's going to want to pay Dak, just like he's going to want to pay Amari, just like he's going to want to pay all these guys. It's his goddamn money. It's his team. All he wants to do before they bury Jerry Jones is to win another Super Bowl. And I got Zeke and his agent thinking about holding out. That's a complete slap in the face. And I know Colin opened up a show today, like, you should immediately trade him. At first, I was like, that's a little crazy, but I do think there's some merit there. Like, Zeke, you don't get to ruffle fucking feathers, buddy. You don't get to act like Slappy number 1 if I'm Jerry Jones and I've had your back, again, across every single turn, and now you're not going to show up to training camp? You just had to go meet with the commissioner for like the 17th time. You can't just be this big of a pain in the ass. Now, would Jerry trade him? No, because Jerry likes him, but I do think we got a problem on our hands. And again, greed. Greed. What do you want, Zeke? 1, you're a running back. 2, you've been in trouble. Last year, you were suspended 6 games. The reason you guys didn't make the playoffs is because you were nowhere to be found for 6 fucking weeks. And now you're thinking about holding out? Well, I mean, listen, the great part about the NFL is not a player empowerment league. The fans win. But this is every single person. Every Cowboy fan, if he does. And again, he might not. Maybe he's just threatening it. So I'm hesitant because this training camp hasn't started. But clearly where there's smoke, there's fire, and his people are telling people, and I would imagine start with the agent, again, where all they care about is money and all they care about is greed, when all Jerry wants to do is win, and he wants to pay all these guys. That's the other thing. Jerry's not, I know Twitter loves to tell you every rich guy just wants to screw over everyone and keep all their own money. That's not really the way the world works. Like, a guy like Jerry Jones is paying a lot of people a lot of money. Jerry wants to pay Ezekiel Elliott. All Jerry wants to do is for Zeke to be a good guy, pay him a lot of money, and win games. That's Jerry prays every night that Zeke can just stay out of trouble. He can give a lot of money, stay healthy, and just make plays. The problem is you can't trust Zeke because every time that he has a little time off, he goes to Vegas, he gets in an altercation. He has a girlfriend, he gets in an altercation. He goes on a carnival or he goes on that parade, he pulls her shirt down. It's always something with you. Now you're going to hold out going into year 4? When you're the 5th pick or 4th pick in the draft and you've been paid a lot of money, like that makes me uneasy. That actually pisses me off for Jerry Jones because I think that's embarrassing. That's a terrible look for Zeke and his agent. Like last year when Khalil Mack held out, that wasn't a bad look. He was going into his 5th-year option. He was the best player in the league at his position, at arguably beside quarterback, second most important position. Here's the other key thing in these contract negotiations. You have leverage in a contract negotiation when you're not a slappy. When you are a slappy, like Jalen Ramsey, Zeke, you don't have as much leverage. You know what teams want to do in the NFL? Pay the players they draft. It's the number one thing they want to do. They draft a sweet player, they want to pay him a lot of money. And usually the number one thing that is the reason that they hesitate to pay that player is because he has slappy tendencies. Slappy tendencies. Zeke has now a resume of slappy tendencies. Jalen Ramsey, slappy tendencies. Odell Beckham, let's call it what it is, been a pain in the ass. You know who's not a pain in the ass? Julio Jones, Hopkins, Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald, and even some of them have held out, but they're not a pain in the ass. Don't be a slappy and you will get paid. It's a pretty basic formula that's been going consistently in the history of the NFL. Now, you can be good enough, like Zeke's good enough, where he can act like a slappy and someone would still pay him. But this got to piss Jerry off, that I even have to open up the internet and read your thinking about holding out. When I have gone to the mat for you countless times, I have basically called the commissioner, an idiot. We got in a huge fight 2 years ago when he got the 6-game suspension over you. Not over me, over you. And now you're going to hold out a training camp when we have arguably the best team we've had in 15 years? That's how you're going to act? When I drafted you really high, I paid you a lot of money, I put you in a great position. Our organization has supported you 24/7, 365. Again, his agent should be embarrassed. And Zeke, if he's being influenced to do this, should shake it off and talk some sense into himself. And if this is Zeke's idea, you're an idiot. It's just that simple. You're an idiot. Like, you don't get to act like this when you have a resume like you have. That's not the way this thing works. So I back to Colin's point, if I was Jerry, I would float out immediately. If he holds out, we'll fucking trade him, and I'd pick a shitty team. I'd be like, we'll trade him to the Bengals, Okay, Zeke, see you, buddy. Adios. Bye-bye. That's what I do. That really bothers me. And you know what you're not allowed to do anymore? Because the player empowerment in Twitter is like, sometimes players are in the wrong. Like, we love acting like management's always the bad guy. It's always management. You know what it is a lot of time? It's the players and their agent. Guess what? They can be wrong. They can take a stance that's just stupid. And if they hold out on this one, that's a stupid stance. It really is. I mean, it's just not really arguable. That would, if I was Jerry, I'd be so hot right now. The Bucks, I like that idea. I would trade him to the Bucks. And I'd say, see ya. I wouldn't trade him. Because again, I'm a whore too. I want to win and I like my money. But you float it. You go, okay, you want to float, you're going to hold out? We'll float, we're going to trade you to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll float, we're going to trade you to the Cincinnati Bengals. Because again, this is not the NBA. You don't get bent over by the player and say how much more. You bend them over and their agent. And that's what bothers agents in the NFL, is they kind of get pushed around, even though they still make easy money. I mean, it's not, what are they really doing? I mean, this type of shit pisses me off. And it really is. You can't really talk about it on Twitter because the player's always getting fucked. The player is Zeke getting screwed here? He's been paid, what, $20 million the last 3 years. He's been in and out of trouble nonstop. And his number one supporter has been the owner. And now you're going to kind of try to screw over the owner? I just don't get it. Honestly, it doesn't add up. When I read that, I had to do a double take. I'm like, he's going to hold out? What? Huh? After he legitimately just had to meet with the commissioner, what, a week ago? He sat down with the commissioner for a week over something pretty innocuous, which I even said was kind of stupid. Nothing really happened. But still, you know who doesn't have to meet with the commissioner? 95% of the league. It's always Zeke. How many players on the Cowboys get in trouble? Randy Gregory, he's gone. I mean, that's like it. You know, who else on the Cowboys and some of those defensive linemen? But like, I don't get it. Greg Hardy, Slappy. I think any football fan should think Zeke's holdout is dumb. Like, this should be a universal thought that Zeke holding out, he's in the wrong. I think it's a pretty consistent, it should be a universal thought. No groupthink here, no natural inclination to lean with the player empowerment. It should be groupthink of Zeke's an idiot if he holds out. And his agent should be blasted. I look forward to talking shit about his agent on Twitter. Who do the Cowboys want to take instead of Zeke? Well, they didn't. Well, I mean, the scouts wanted to take Jalen Ramsey, who's also kind of a slappy. But Jerry wanted Zeke. Yeah, I don't even count the group as the slappy defensive linemen because they're not championship-level players. And Lawrence has grown up a lot and just acts like a normal guy. I did not see the Kobe excerpt, no. Zeke's already been paid. Why should Zeke be paid right now when he's been in and out of the fucking law? Shouldn't Zeke just try to stay out of the straight and narrow and just try to kind of keep a low profile? I love it. Like, he's got to get the bag. Well, he's already got a bag. You know, his contract at number 4 overall is fully guaranteed. This isn't Major League Baseball. You're not getting $3 million. His contract was worth like $30 million. Zeke's, and there's no state income tax in Texas. Zeke's made a shitload. And he's a Cowboy star player, which makes him extra money. Zeke's already been paid. So he should thank Jerry. Jerry, thanks for drafting me. Hey, Jerry, thanks for putting me not in Jacksonville so I can make another $10, $20 million off the field. Thank you, Jerry. That's what he should be saying. Thank you. Do you think that's going to be said on Twitter? Do you think anyone will type that today? You know what Zeke should be saying instead of holding out? Thank you, Jerry. No. It'll be like, get paid, Zeke. Get yours, Zeke. Get that bag, Zeke. No, how about you just don't be an idiot? And he would have paid you. I think the Raiders' defensive line is terrible. I hope if he holds out, Jerry should just trade him. Jerry's already defended him. I don't know how you defend him holding out. Because if he's holding out, that is basically an FU to Jerry. God, media loves player empowerment. I mean, every player's getting screwed. You know, some players actually aren't getting screwed. Sometimes it's just a win-win. That's usually where the world works. You know, the dudes who's getting screwed is like the guy making $30K working his ass off. It's kind of hard to get screwed when you make $8 million a year. I got news for you. It really is. Now, could you be underpaid? Sure. Are you getting screwed? No. I don't know what Amari's thinking. I think Dak wants $30 million a year. In 2 to 3 years, you don't think Hurst, Farrell, and Key will be anything? I think Hurst is a good player. I'm not an Arden Key guy. And Cleveland Farrell, yeah, he might be okay in a couple years. I agree. If I get one of those think pieces on how Zeke, how would Zeke sit down with Josina though and have a straight face? Thinking like he's underpaid. Would Josina then go, well, Zeke, you got suspended 2 years ago for 6 games. You came to the league with issues, and you've had about 7 other issues. So don't you think the Cowboys have the right to take a wait-and-see approach? When, again, you're not making $600,000, you're making $7 million a year. Don't you think it's kind of a wait-and-see deal? Like it's kind of let's see how this all plays out? Isn't that a fair conversation? Or is it always, you know what? The goddamn owners, that they treat their players like slaves. This is not okay. Is it ever okay to have the other conversation? You know what? This player, he's kind of a moron, and he can't avoid the police. And he plays a position that you could argue, as we saw in the Ethan Strauss article, is arguably the least valuable position in terms of it's the easiest position to replace. Because it's the only, and people keep asking me, like, you can still find, like, Zeke is a great player, 100%. The difference at running back than every other position is I can consistently find not just good players, great players in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and undrafted free agents. Phillip Lindsay, didn't he lead the league in rushing last year? Was a Pro Bowler? Was an undrafted free agent. Undrafted free agent. Most of the best running backs in the league are not even first-round picks. Le'Veon Bell was a second-round pick. David Johnson was a third-round pick. Shady McCoy for years was great, was a third-round pick. Frank Gore forever was a third-round pick. That is the problem. Not that first-round running backs, because Zeke's a great player. Todd Gurley, before his knee gave out, great player. Christian McCaffrey's a stud. But I can find really good players in the middle to late rounds. Happens every year. Nick Chubb, second rounder. Kareem Hunt, third rounder. Alvin Kamara, third rounder. So Zeke, you know, I'm just not that worried about you. But you don't get, like, the one thing is, you don't get to push our franchise around and hold out. No, not after we stood and had your back. That's not how this thing works. That's offensive. I truly believe that. If I was Jerry Jones, I'm not a Cowboy fan, though I plan on betting on them this year because I like the team. I would be thoroughly offended if I was Jerry Jones. I'd be furious. I'd be pissed off. And I think he'd have every right to be pissed off. You won't see any of those think pieces, though, because we're not allowed to say the owner's in the right or, you know, management's right. It's always the players getting screwed. And I think we've jumped the shark on that. I think Bosa, I don't know, probably holds out. Would be my guess. I don't have a great feel for that. I haven't really asked around on that lately. Thoughts on Solomon Thomas working out with Aaron Donald? He looks big. He looks big. But someone texted me or tweeted at me that they did that last year. I'll say this, and I've been one of Solomon Thomas's biggest critics. I got a really quick. Someone tweeted when I tweeted the picture, like, I hope he shuts up all the haters. You're only a hater. Like, if I'm talking shit about LeBron James, who's one of the greatest players ever, I'm a hater. If I'm talking shit about Mike Trout, I'm a hater. If you talk shit about a player who's not any good, you're not a hater. You're just speaking factually that guy's not any good. Through 2 years, Solomon Thomas has been a below-average player, especially when you factor in he was the third overall pick. That is not being a hater. If you shit on Aaron Rodgers, you're an Aaron Rodgers hater. But if you shit on Kirk Cousins, you're not really a Kirk Cousins hater. Kirk Cousins hasn't done a goddamn thing. So you can't be a hater when you talk about average to below average players. That is just, you're just talking about the player. You know? Like, if everyone on, there are a lot of Steph Curry haters. Like, if you're talking shit about Steph Curry, you just don't like him. You know, you just don't like him. But if you're talking shit about Chris Paul, like, you're just, and I've been doing it for years, but if you're doing it right now, and I am a Chris Paul hater, but if I'm not a hater right now, because he's just not any good, you know? I've been talking shit about Melo forever. I'm not a Melo hater. Melo's not any good. I mean, I'd rather have Joe Johnson, he's playing the big three, than Carmelo right now. Like, that's just a fact. So, these people are like, oh, we gotta shut the haters up. Yeah, again, you're only hating on someone if you talk shit about Brooks Koepka. That's a hater. But if I'm talking shit about, like, Ricky Fowler can't win a major, that's not hating on Ricky Fowler. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. So I think we got to get away. Like, there's been no Solomon Thomas hate because it's been proven he's not any good. Do you know who's proven to us to think that he's not any good? Kyle Shanahan. They yank him out of the game. I hope he's good. I want the Niners to be good. It'd be great for my business. I'd make a lot of money off it. I am financially in bed with them in terms of they have success, I will make cash. I want them to be good. I'm going to watch all their games anyway. So I don't want to watch shitty football. I'm rooting for him to be a breakout player this year. I don't really see it because I don't think he has the physical characteristics, but he did look good at practice. I think he's in a lot better shape. You know, what happened last year to his sister, I can't even imagine. Like, that probably shook him to his core. I mean, it had to have. It would have impacted any human. But I just don't know if he has the physical capabilities. Like, he's standing next to Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's a little strong, a little more cut up. But Solomon's bigger. But you know what Aaron is? He's twitchier. Maybe he's tougher. I don't know. He's just a much better player. Because you stand them up side by side. If you never watched them play, you'd probably take the bigger guy. But Aaron Donald, with his eyes closed, is better. No excuses this year, exactly. And again, I'm hoping the guy's good. But I would lean he's probably not. He's just not. And me saying that's not hating. It's just based off his resume. It's also based off, I know for a fact the team tried to trade him. Even though they've denied it. That's okay. Like we can embrace it. You try to trade him. The problem is no one would take him. No one wanted him. He's not any good. Now, if he becomes good, you could trade him. But right now, he's not any good. Just a reality. Other thing of the day is that Koepka ghosted Tiger. There's Tiger right there on TV. Koepka's caddy, I heard this on a podcast last week, and I just Googled it. Koepka's caddy grew up in Ireland, so like a mile away from where they're playing right now. So what does that mean? He has the ins and outs and inside information on this course. So does Tiger want to play with Koepka in a practice round and hang out with Koepka? No. He wants to pick Koepka's caddy's brain. That's exactly what he wants. Tiger's like Belichick. Tiger has, he's selfish motives for playing a practice round with Koepka. Koepka's not who he usually plays practice rounds with, but he wants to play practice round with Koepka in this tournament to pick his brain about where to hit the golf ball. I don't blame Tiger. I also don't blame Koepka for ghosting him. I would have ghosted him too. Ryan Hollins is garbage, but he can't keep letting Max Kellerman clown him like that. I mean, I can't even imagine watching First Take if Stephen A. Smith wasn't there. Maybe Tiger should hire a caddy from the course and play around with him. I agree. I don't, like, Tiger tried to laugh it off, but it's like, Tiger, Koepka knows why you're texting him. You want to play a practice round to pick his caddy's brain. I love Koepka. How could you not? Best running back in AFC North, Connor, Mixon, Chubb, or Hunt? Well, Hunt's out the first 8 games. Mixon and Chubb are much more talented than Connor. I'd probably lean Mixon. Mixon would be my pick. Just talent-wise. Chubb might be a better player. I'd say the Sixers will be the 2 seed. Bucks be the 1st seed. I'm not a big Aaron Jones guy. Lamar Jackson, that's not a bad one. I played a lot of second balls at Winty. I recorded like an 84, but I took a couple mulligans. Of course, it's hard. Sleeper fantasy football quarterback, Trubisky. I think Trubisky could throw 30 touchdowns and run for 6 or 7. I'd take DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence is sweet. Joey Bosa could get hurt at any moment. Pasatiempo's badass. I played bad on the front, shot like 45. I played pretty good on the back, shot like 39, shot 84. I dominated the back because I hit a bunch of fairways and I had a bunch of birdie tries. Yochideshi, I haven't played there in like a couple years. I've never played very good there. Sweet track, though. Okay, boxofawesome.com, promo code HAM. Legacybox.com/ham. Don't be a slappy. Imagine if Zeke hadn't been a slappy. Jerry would probably be giving him like $60 million right now. But you're a slappy, you just don't get paid. I've never played an Empire. My ball, I've never played worse. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I'm a terrible golfer right now. I'm like a 15 handicap. This has been the worst golf summer of my life. I've completely lost my swing. More entertaining, Middlekauff Pod or American Pickers? I don't know what American Pickers is. What is that? I agree. Jerry went to war for Zeke, and now Zeke repays him like this. That's not the way business is done. Even in modern day business, Zeke should get blasted on Twitter. I'll be one of the. I would imagine I'll be one of the few media members. I don't even view myself as a media member. I'm a businessman, but who brings up the point that Zeke's in the wrong. I bet no one says Zeke's in the wrong. I would imagine that is a very unpopular opinion on Twitter. It won't be here. Promise you that. I mean, Jerry Jones goes to the mat for Zeke and he repays him like this? Come on. Okay, adios. MyBookie.ag, promo code HAM1. Peace. See ya. I'll watch Kobe right now. Adios. Peace.